Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Miel Hebraica, Hebrew Honey, and today we're looking at Genesis 12, verses 7 through 12, and I'm doing an analysis of a manuscript that's approximately 8,100 years old, give or take 20 or 30 years. So they've done some carbon dating on this document, and this portion is sort of towards the front of the document. The document is missing the first part of Genesis. It was destroyed in ancient times or lost. Nobody really knows what happened to it. But from here on, from Genesis 10 onwards, it's fairly legible. The earlier chapters have been somewhat repaired. This one hasn't got much repair, but does a few stains, has a few challenges of reading. So we'll get to it. I'll look at some of the grammar, look at some of the issues as to what the letters look like and so forth. And so it's a very interesting read to see something of such great antiquity. And this, I'm very grateful that this is now made available electronically, to have it. Anybody can download it off the internet, and it's a very useful study tool. It used to be awful hard to get hold of ancient documents, and now it's extremely easy. I'm just so grateful for that. So yeah, wow. So if it's possible to get a hold of it, it's also possible to study it and take a nice look at it, and it's something worth our time and effort to look at and kind of understand. Also, trying to get into the feeling of what's happening with this portion is about Abraham as he's arrived in Canaan, and he's first arrived in Shechem, of course, and then he moved on to Bethel. So here we're picking up the story at Bethel, and then the famine hits the land, and he's forced to move down to Egypt. And so this portion just covers that very short section in there when he's when he's going from Canaan down to Egypt, and the conversation he has with Sarai, his wife, and the issues he has, of course, with the Egyptians and so. But it's a short section. It's just about 5 verses that we have here. It's just one of the pages out of this codex. So let's get to the study. And to Abraham he said, Avram, okay, this is the Lord speaking, of course, Vayomer, and he said, Lezerach, this is to a seed of yours. This is a kaf, comments at the end. It's to your seed. At 10, I give. Okay, at 10, first person singular prefix of the verb natan, to give, a well-known verb. At 10, you can kind of see the nun here. It runs into one of the accents over here as well. But at 10, the first part, of course, is the consonant, and then it's the accents on the bottom of it here. At 10, et haaretz, this is direct object marker. Whatever follows that will be the what receives the action. So the Lord is giving haaretz, the land, and this is also a well-known word here. The hey has a comments, the aleph has a comments. There's going to be a segolon here that you can't really see, but that's what's supposed to be there. The haaretz in the final form of the sade. Hazot, okay, this one, this land. That's a demonstrative pronoun that attaches to this particular noun here. Haaretz hazot va yeven, and he built. This is a shorter root of. This is the normal way you will see this verb quite often. Its root in the dictionary will be bana, bet, nun, he, but yeven is he built, he made. Yeven sham, there. Okay, should be a comments right in here. We don't see it. It's been blotted out, or maybe you only see the part of it. Sham. Mishbeah. Mishbeah is a altar. Zebah is to sacrifice. And then if you take a sacrifice and make a noun out of it with the mem, you have a mishbeah. That's then altar. Okay, mishbeah. Le Yehovah. Yehovah. This is La Yehovah. It's a patah right here. Va Yehovah. The holem isn't there, but we can understand. We kind of put it in there. Lach Yehovah. Nir A. Har nir A. So this is an article, okay, on the front of the participle, and this is a nifl participle. Okay, nera. This is then appearing himself. Okay, He appeared, elav, to him. The pronouns at the end here, elav, to him, upon him, towards him. And this one's a little bit tricky. When the first time I read it, I thought it was a nun, but this is actually a tau. Okay, va, ya, ye, nech. Va, ya, nech. Va, ya, no, yeah, I did it again. Va, ye, tech. Okay, va, ye, tech. Just, okay, what we're seeing here is very much a partial fixing system, or partial. This was first written. This is the original writing right here. You just sort of half washed out writing. That was the original writing, and then somebody fixed it with this line and then this line. So the kof's been nicely fixed. The second half of the tau has been nicely fixed, but not the first half. So it kind of throws you when you're reading it here. Okay, va, ya, tech. Okay, and he moved. Yeah, he moved. Yeah, tech. Tech is the. You can get to what I call the original root meaning of the tau, and that's when you mark something, and that's where you're going with it. Okay, via tech, and he placed there, he moved there, misham, from there. Okay, all of these have been nicely fixed. This one wasn't nicely fixed. I think some of the vowel pointing looks a little fixed. Ha, hara, and then the hill country. Now har is mountain or hill. Ha, right here on the first part here, the first comments is a article then, and then when you take a feminine ending on har, it makes it the country of hill country. Okay, so if it would be hills, it would be herim. Generally vowels there would be the segos, but here it's all comments. Okay, ha, hara, the hill country. Me kedem, from the east, towards the east. Le Betel, and this one's a very well-known place name, a house of God. Okay, Le Betel has a lamed of towards, the preposition meaning towards Betel, house of the Lord. Famous place as to where Jacob also saw the angels going up and down the ladder in his dream when he left Canaan to go up to Padan Aram. So Bethel is also a very large town even to this day. So, well, back in those days, it was still a small place, but now it's become a large city in Israel. But yet, and then he put, pitched. Okay, yet this also is what I would call the root or the original meaning of this tet. It's the mark. Okay. And if you're using a natan, here's a atan. These are somewhat related words here. Yet and etan. This one is to give or place or put, and this one is give, and this one is to lean over and plant or put. Okay. Yet, and he leaned over to install. In other words, pitched. Okay. Yet, ha, ho, halo. Yeah, ha-ha-lo. Ha-ho-lo. Okay. This last one, the last syllable is accent. So this one should be a commensator. Okay. Ha. Oh, okay. This is a hatif comments. Okay, right here. You see this comments right here, and then you have a little shava there that makes this one O sound. And if you're looking up in the dictionary, the second syllable will be an O sound. Okay. Most dictionaries shows up as a holem, but halo, haholo is tent. Beit El, house of God, same as the front here. Beit El, house. And then again, have a nice makef over here. And as you can see, you can split up a word when you have just a makef. Beit El, same as a hyphenated word. Okay, Beit El, house of the Lord, of God. Meyam, from the sea, yam, and this sea here, got it capitalized. It's a known place. It's the Mediterranean Sea. So if you're up there in Bethel and you look out to the west, you see the Mediterranean. If you look out to the east, you'll see Hai. Okay, Hai. Hai means ruin, old place, ancient place. And there's been a lot of activity, a lot of work trying to identify it. I think they've got it kind of settled as to where it is, but even it means ruin, and even probably in the time of Abraham, it might have already been a ruin. Okay, it might have all just been a pile of rocks at that point. Although later on, when they were invading the country with Joshua, Hai was an established city, and then there was a battle that took place to take over Hai. Mekedem from the east. Mekedem, this is from the east. We see this one here, Mekedem from the east, and this is from the east again. Same word, Mekedem. You get a nice shot of the two segol. This is segolate here, and then here you see the same two segols. Helps you out. These are the symbol. These are identical words. Okay, Mekedem, Mekedem. Even though the kof isn't so clear here. Yaben, and he built. And this also is a repetition of this one right here, Yaben, and he built Sham there, same thing as Sham over here, Mishbeah. Okay, so if you get a few things that are repeated like this Mishbeah, and this Mishbeah, of course, these are altars. So Mishbeah over here, Mishbeah over here, let Yahweh to the Lord, Yehovah. And so it's not quite called on. So built an altar to Jehovah. Vayikra, okay, this is a Kofresh Aleph. He called, prayed, called Beshem in the name Yehovah, Jehovah. Nas, Venasha. And he pulled up, he lifted up. Abraham lifted, this is a subject of this noun here, to lift up or pull up. Haloch, and he walked. Nishuach. It's a good thing that we have this one here, because this one's quite a bit clearer as to what we see here. You see a Yod, Nun, Samik, Vav, Pataf, Rotifa, and an Ayim. This one's a Vav, and Yod, Samek, Ayim. So the Nun got the simulated, but still the same verb, actually same root. Once you have the Samek Ayim, that's the same verb. And then lift it up. And this business of lifted up means pulling up stakes. And it's a kind of a Hebrew way of saying major move, okay? Major turning point, major spot at which things, and it isn't just simply lifting up stakes, it's just pulling the whole camp up and lifting everything up, putting on your camels, and it's a big deal to put all your stuff up on camels and start trekking, start walking. Okay, Nesha, Avram, Haloch, to be walking. This is to be walking, be a participle form, to be walking. Not shuach, and to be lifting up, and so he's. This is the major step then. Nashuach, to be moving on. Hanegeva. So this is the article here. Negev is of course the south, the Negev desert, and then there's a directional hay at the end right here. Hanegeva. There's nothing in here. I was looking for something, but it's kind of a blank spot. But and it happened. Rav. And there happened to be Rav, a famine, Ba'aretz, in the land, Vayared, okay, and he descended. This is a Yod Resh Dalet. You can't see the segols that are here. Happen to know that they're there. They should be there. Vayared, Avram. So the Averam. It's an interesting segol there, but I don't think it's real segol. Okay, Avram. They have a nice little old Mona here on the accenting Avram. This is exalted father. This is before his name was changed to Avraham, so it's still the shorter version of his name. Avram. Mishraim. Mishraim is a dual of two sides of the Nile. Egypt, of course, and Egypt is a dual name in Hebrew. And then this last hey at the end of here, of this thing, Mishraima, Rishmaima, is a directional hey. It's towards Egypt, Lagur, this is to live temporarily, to be sojourn, this is the old word for it, Lagur, to live for a while, to just visit, basically. Sham, over there. Ki, because kabed, heavy, deep, tough, severe. Okay? Kabed, hara'av, the famine, ba'aretz, in the land, was in the land. Yehi, and this one has sakev katon on it. We're going to look at it in the next line, so let's get to that. And here I've separated out. I still have the Ki katev ha'ra'av ba'aretz that was from the previous slide, and then we start here again on this one. Here is incidentally a soft pasuk that ends the verse right here. I think it's probably ending verse 11 here, and then you get a siluk. Soft pasuk ends this verse right here, and it starts out with vayhi. Okay, and this is sakef gadol. Okay, the vertical dots, which look a little bit like a shiva, but they're on the top, those are the sakef. And then if you have a sakef with a vertical line beside it, that's a sakef gadol, and that's just the accenting of this particular vayhi. Kasher, as he was, as it happened, as it was. Hik riv, okay, hik riv, as he was getting near, okay, hik riv, caused to be getting near. Le labo, to come, to arrive, to enter, yeah, labo, that would be to enter here. Labo, Mishraima, again, Egypt, and again the directional hey on the end of that, Mishraim. Okay, this last kametz hey is a directional hey, Mishraima. Vayomer, and he said, El Sarai, and he said to Sarai. Okay, this is a Vayomer. Interesting, the accenting is over here. Vayomer El Sharai, Ishto, his wife. Hine, hey, look here. Yeah, look, hine, look. Na, and this is a petition, hortatory or petition. Please, okay, I put please here to represent this na. Yadati, I know. Yadati, I know. Ki, isha, that a woman. Yafat, very beautiful. Me rea, of appearance, okay, to be looked at, okay, me rea, at, you, okay, you're a very beautiful woman to look at. Well, nice compliment, although this next suggestions aren't so great. So, me at, ve'haya, and as it would so happen, ki, yeru, as they see, as they look, itak, to you, ha-mishraim. This is then the Egyptians, and this over here we've seen Egypt with directional hey on the end of it. Now all of a sudden you just see it Mishraim. These are the Egyptians, just a simple plural here, masculine plural of Mishraim, the Egyptians. Amru, and they will say, Ishto, that's his wife. Okay, Ishto. Isha is the absolute form. Ishto is a construct form, his wife of him. Okay, Zot, this one, that one, this one. This is his wife, Hazot. Okay, nice atna right here, separating this particular verse here. Ishto Zot ve ha ragu. Okay, this is, the gimel here is a little bit divided, so that sort of throws you off a little bit as to, but it's a well-known word. Ve hey resh gimel vav haragu, and they will kill oti, me. They will kill me. Ve atecha, and to you, yechayon, the high yechayon. Okay, yechayon. This is live, most certainly, and this nun right here. I think the They'll call it paragogic nun, but it's actually more of a what I call a emphatic nun. Okay, there's an accent here, but this is the siluk and sof pasuk that ends this particular verse right here. Yehayun, and they will allow you to live. Amarta, no, Amarta. Yeah, this has to be a tau in here, but I don't see it. And say, please, na. This is a hortatory na. Please say it. Please. Okay, here it is. Please say. Marata, na. Achoti. You are my sister. Okay. At. That is you. This is that is independent pronoun here. You are my sister. Achoti. Leman, so that, for the sake of. Yatev, so it will go well. Li. Tov, this is the verbal form of tov here. Tov is a well-known word for being good or well, great. And so Yatov, this is then, you take, it will go well with, to li, to me. I think when you add another yod to the front of this thing, it sort of makes it like a pio then, Yatov, it will be greater or good to me. Ba, aburecha, for the sake of you. Ve, ha, yata, and so will live. So will live. Nafshi, my soul will live. And so hayata, nafshi, my soul will live. Be galecha, and this is very parallel to aburecha. Very parallel words right here. And this one has a sense of being circular. Okay. And it's a little bit like what goes around comes around, okay? And this will go around because this is something that, comes around to us, okay? Okay? Okay, here's where it's a good to take a good look at the Sakef Gadol, because when you first read this, the first time I read it, I thought there was a lamed here, but it isn't, okay? Va Yehi, and then Sakef Gadol over here, Kebo, as he came, Abram, as Abram came, Begalil, Yechil, Kebo, Abram, as Abram came, when he entered, Mishraima, okay, again, a beautiful Mishraim, and then a directional hey at the end of this particular formation of Mishraim. So it's Mishraim would be the dual, and then Mishraima would be the dual with the directional hey on the end of it. Okay, Mishraima. Yaru, and as they saw, okay, this is then Resh Aleph. The root would be Resh Aleph Hey, but this is third person plural form of this particular verb to see. They saw, and then the Ha-Mishraim. So here's Mishraim as Egypt with the directional hey, and these are the Egyptians. Okay, Ha-Mishraim. There's no hey at the end of this one, but this one's Mishraim. Okay, Egyptians. Et Haisha, to direct object marker, and then Haisha. The corrector is fixed up the second half of this tau, and he's fixed up the comments. He's fixed up the muna, but he's left everything else the same. So just very partial. And here it's been the vowel pointings have been fixed, and a couple of the letters have been fixed along the way. Okay, you can see that the black is the repairs, and then the other ones are the original lettering of the passage. Could be a century or two of time between these two efforts here. Bet Haisha, Ki, Yafa, because beautiful, Hu, she. Okay, he. Sorry, a very easy mistake to make, because this is a Hey Vav Aleph, and so this is actually legally or structurally the masculine Hu, but we're still in the Torah part of the scriptures. In the first 5 books of the Bible, this is an automatic kare. In other words, when you see the Hey Vav Aleph, instead of saying Hu, you have to say he right here. Okay? And they don't notice, they don't set this one out in the margin. This is when you have to know, okay? He, she. Okay? That she was very beautiful. But yeah, okay. He, meod, very much, okay, greatly. So this is an adverb that modifies what we see the rest of the sentence here. Yeah, very much so, very beautiful. Yeru, and they saw, and this is the plural form. I think we've already seen this verb, yeru, right here. Yeru, ota, to her, and they saw her. Sare, that is the princess. And then you have the scene and the comments and the sere and the muna been all fixed up. The rest is still original here. Shere, faro, okay, faro. And here again, the accenting has been faro. This, by the way, you see this line right on the top. It has a few cases of that. Not a whole lot. Here's one. There's not one here, but there's one here. This is a rafe, and what it sort of emphasizes the fact that this pay will be a smooth pay. It won't be a pulse P. It will be just normal P. It's like an F. This is an F, and then okay, faro, faro. This would be a silent shiva right here. Faro. Va yechallu, and they praised ata. They praised you. Praised her. Yeah, they praised her. El faro. There's a rafe here, but there isn't one here, and there isn't one here. So incidentally, we have three of them all in a row right here. That works out good nice to compare them. This one here, it's accenting. Doesn't even show an accent. It just shows faro. This one's the Atna accent. And this one has a Siluk accent. So this one doesn't have accent. These have strong accents on faro. Tika, and they took Haisha, the woman. Haisha. Bait, the house of Pharaoh. They took the woman to the house of Pharaoh. Surik here, le Avram, and it went well with him. In other words, he got a lot of good things, and he was getting all kinds of material and stuff. Later on, Pharaoh did figure out that Sarah was his wife, and he got upset about it. But he still blessed Abraham and sent him back on his way out, still with a lot of good things. It's an interesting story. The Bible does not minimize the weaknesses of the patriarchs, and many times seems to emphasize them. And here's one of them. This is something to, oh my, he gets scared, and I guess people do weird things when they're scared. And Abraham, most certainly, the Bible is very clear as to the human side, even of their major leaders. David, the Bible was willing to talk all about his evil doings and so forth. But through all of that, even though you have an imperfect leader, you have a leader that is faithful to listening to the Lord, building an altar, and generally doing as much as he can in obedience to the Lord. So it's a beautiful story. So it's an interesting read, and looking at it takes a little bit of a study to figure out just what each letter's been doing. But through it all, it's a very interesting exercise. This is the scribe who wrote this. Apparently, had a lot of personality. He just worked hard with his brush. It's all the letters are well formed, fairly well understood. And sometimes when it's a little bit hard to read, it's just because of the ravages of time has blotted out certain sections of the letters. And originally, when it was written, it was very easy to read. Over time, it's become a little bit more difficult because some of the things have been worn off or stained or something like that. And so, but it's still a very readable text. It's good. It's a beautiful thing to be able to look to this and see how faithful the Lord has been at conserving his text. And now it's a beautiful instrument for comparing to. This one is one of 3 or 4 other texts that are very similar to it, dating from approximately the same century or century and a half. And so it's good to see the ability to make some comparisons and to check that the scribes have been very faithful in copying these passages. So God bless, and may God continue to strengthen you through His word. Until the next time.